Good morning, everybody, and happy Saturday. You are listening to the Business Acceleration Podcast with Dr. Brooklyn Storm, and thank you so much for being here today. I don't know how your week has been, but mine has been amazing. This week, I took the plunge and decided not to actually work from the practice and to start working from home. And it was a real pivot for me. I haven't really worked from home like that before. What I'd been doing was the practice is pretty much emptied out now. It's just like an empty building. There's not much in it. But I kind of held on to a little bit of a belief that I needed to still maintain my routine if I was going to be effective in my work. I maintained a belief that I still needed to get up at 7:15. I still needed to be in the car by, 20 to 8. I still needed to be at the practice by 10 past 8. I still needed all of that time before 9 o'clock to do work on both of the businesses before I could get stuck into telehealth for clients during the day. And I'd been doing that for a couple of weeks and I was finding it a real struggle. And it was only sort of this week, as a result of talking to one of my coaching clients, that I thought maybe I need to try this work from home caper and see how it goes. And I haven't looked back. So I want to talk with you a little bit today about taking the leap and what it can mean for you and your business, but also how you can, ready yourself so that you can take the leap too. And I guess the thing is that at the end of the day, you just need to start before you're ready. So some of you may know, for about 18 months now, I've been seriously thinking about shifting my business to the online space. I've been thinking about closing down the physical practice. So I've got two businesses, the coaching business and the psychology practice, the allied health practice. And I've been thinking seriously about closing the allied health practice physical space and taking that online. But the thing is that I had been creating a lot of excuses for myself around why I couldn't do that. And the reason that I'd been creating those excuses for myself, if I'm honest, is because I was afraid it wasn't going to work. I didn't believe in my ability to do it. And so for that reason, I was, upon reflection, I can see that I was hiding behind all of these excuses. I was telling myself things like, oh, if I take the business online, nobody will book in. If I take the business online, it's going to cause issues with billing. It's going to cause issues with admin. I'm going to lose a lot of work because people want to have the face-to-face sessions. It's not going to be possible for me to do that because I don't have the right setup. Who knows what the right setup is at home, But in my mind, I was like, well, I just don't have the right setup. And so I was coming up with all of these ideas. And yet at the same time, I would go to the practice and I was thinking, gosh, I wish I was doing this online. And so when everything happened recently with coronavirus and we were kind of told, hey, you've got to work from home now, unless it's absolutely essential you do the face-to-face, I thought, oh, yikes, I really not feeling very comfortable about this at all. All of a sudden, all my fears were starting to come up to the surface and I was going to have to address them. And so what I did was resisted. And I could see so many reasons that would support my resistance. For example, I'm in a number of Facebook groups for allied health practitioners, and I was seeing that a number of them were closing their businesses. I was seeing a number of them were highly stressed because they'd suddenly had a very steep dip in referrals. They'd had a sudden loss of income. People weren't booking in for appointments. They were getting a lot of pushback from clients. They were having clients say to them, oh, I'm not comfortable with the online stuff, so I'm just going to wait until coronavirus is over and then I'll come back. Not realizing that we could be in isolation until the end of September, apparently, because I'm not going to have a vaccination before then. So all of these experiences that colleagues were having, I was using to justify why it wasn't okay and it wasn't safe for me to go into the online space. And I was hiding behind all these other excuses as well. So, for example, I'm not married. I don't have anyone that can help me with my bills. I'm it. I don't get any benefits from anywhere. I don't get any tax breaks. I don't get any concessions. I'm paying a mortgage on my house. I'm paying a car. I'm paying $4,000 a month rent plus outgoings on top of that. And so it's a big responsibility for me financially. And so I was thinking, well, I can't afford to go online because, you know, if it all goes pear-shaped, I could lose the business, I could lose my home, I could lose my car. And so I was allowing myself to use all of these fears as my shield to keep me going down to the practice. And so, you know, I still maintained going down to the practice. And the way that I did that was I said to myself, I justified it by saying, oh, you're an essential worker, therefore it's okay for you to go down to the practice. And so I kind of, again, hid behind the fact that I was considered an essential worker. And so I started still seeing clients face to face. And while I was doing that, it just felt so out of alignment with me because a couple of things. Number one, in my heart, I really did want to do the online. I was just shit scared to do it. Sorry for swearing. But the other thing was, you know, I was thinking to myself, this isn't okay because I've just become informed now that people have no idea if they're sick or not, that they're transmitting the coronavirus for 2 weeks before they're actually getting symptoms themselves. And so I was ignorant to that. And I was saying to people when they were booking in for appointments with me, oh, have you had any, you know, sneezing, itchy nose, coughing, you know, respiratory stuff? And if people were saying no, I was saying, oh, okay, that's fine, I'll see you. Not realizing that these people could have actually been giving me the condition and them genuinely, honestly, to the best of their knowledge, have felt like they weren't. And so that became a problem because two things. Number one, I have, you know, compromised immune whatever. I've got Hashimoto's disease. I've had a thyroid disease or all of this sort of stuff. But the other thing that I realized was I also have a duty of care to my clients. And I don't know if I'm carrying the disease. How on earth could I know to 100-degree certainty that I'm not giving it to my clients? For all I know, I could have gone to the supermarket, you know, touched some surface there or touched a piece of produce or you know, touched the EFTPOS machine and not realised that somebody with the virus has left their germs on it and I've picked it up. And then I'm just going around telling everybody I'm fine when I'm not, and I'm giving them the condition. And when I realised that, I felt sick to my stomach because I thought, I don't want to be responsible for making somebody else sick. And for that person then giving it to somebody, giving it to somebody, giving it to somebody. I don't want that on my conscience. And especially if there's something I can do about it. So I had to make a decision, and I made that decision also because I care for my mum. My mum's 70 years old this year. You know, she's got chronic medical conditions. And when I realised, holy cow, I could be, you know, without realising it, giving my mum, who's in a high risk category, coronavirus without me even really knowing, the thought of that made me sick to my stomach. And so that day I decided, right, I'm not doing it anymore. I'm just going to go online and let the cards fall where they may. So what happened was, it was a Sunday night, just decided, boom, we're going to do it. My bookkeeper got in touch with me. We were on the same wavelength at the same time. She reached out to me on Messenger and said, hey, what do you think about going online? I was like, yep, let's do it. So overnight, we put the whole business online. And, you know, the next day started seeing clients online and by telephone. And guess what? We have had one of the highest conversion rates that I'm aware of. Our conversion rate as of, when's Friday? Yesterday. I'm sorry, the days are running into each other. Our conversion rate as of yesterday was at 96%, which is almost unheard of. And there was strategies and tools that we use to achieve that, of course, but what's happened is it's meant I've been able to maintain a fully booked diary. So my fears were false, like unjustified. Turns out I am able to take care of my diary. My fears around clients dropping out, didn't come to fruition. My fears around my income didn't come to fruition. You know, I don't meet some of the eligibility criteria for things like JobKeeper payment because I've been able to maintain pretty much. I mean, I had a dip of about 10% last month, but this month it's back on track at the normal rate. Plus, on top of that, I've got that other business, which is the coaching business for private practice, and that's just boomed. That's just taken off. And so what I've realized is that sometimes having a really big push from the universe is all that it takes in order for you to get out of your own head and do what feels really aligned with you. Now, I know I come on here to these podcasts and I tell you guys about alignment, and I encourage you to step into that space where your purpose marries up with the reality in your practice, and I stand by that. But I also stand by understanding the fear, because we all experience it from time to time. I think at the end of the day, it's really around having that understanding, that awareness of when things feel right and when things don't feel right. And for me, being down at the practice, thinking about going online and seeing clients face to face, things felt a little bit off. I knew I wanted to be online. And so now this whole situation has been a blessing, because what I've realized is I can have the practice that I want. I can have the income that I want. I can have the freedom that I want. Since I was brave enough to take that step, what's happened is everything I wanted has been on the other side of that fear. For example, I'm no longer getting anxious before I go down to the practice, which was happening as a result of, I think I might have shared with you, if not, I'll share it in another episode, but I was assaulted down at my practice, and so I've had like a bit of nerves going down there. I've had a few little incidents, and so I've felt, you know, that rush in the morning to get out of bed really quickly, that pressure of driving to work, getting to work, feeling the pressure of, you know, having that little space of time to balance both of the businesses and try and give them both 100% and come home and still do it, all of this, right? Now, what's happened is both of the businesses are growing. Both of the businesses have picked up in the last week. I'm calm. I have more time in the morning because I'm not commuting, I'm not rushing. I now have like an extra hour and a half in the morning. And so what I'm able to do is actually walk my dog, meditate, journal, plan for the day. Because I'm working from home, I have lunch from 12 to 1. I'm now able to sit down and enjoy lunch from 12 to 1. Whereas when I was at the practice, I was using that 1 hour to catch up on things. Then I see my clients in the afternoon and I finish at 5. And guess what? I just walk into the kitchen and I make myself a coffee and I go and unwind for an hour. I'm not having to pack up the practice, turn everything off, put cameras on, do all of that sort of stuff, and then, you know, sit in peak hour traffic for a 45-minute commute home. And then get home and open up the house and do all of that and walk the dog. So my quality of life has improved as a result of this. And what I've experienced just this week, so it's only been this week that I've done my work from home. But what I've realized is it's everything that I've always wanted and more. And I couldn't be happier. I feel calmer than ever. I feel grounded. I feel in my zone. I have time to do things that nourish my soul. You know, I've got my crystals around me. I've got all my books around me. I've got beautiful clients with their beautiful energy filling up the energy of my study when I'm talking to them. I couldn't be calmer or happier. And so what I want to share with you is that if you're feeling fear around something, please understand that everything that you want is on the other side of the fear. And learn from my experience. You know, I share these things with you so that you don't have to go what I go through. But, you know, I wish that ages ago I'd taken the step and just bitten the bullet and done everything online. And I want you to understand that there's nothing to fear but the fear itself. When you let go, when you detach from the outcome, what's going to happen is all that fear just disappears and you roll with it. And I think if you're still a little bit nervous in doing that, trust in your resourcefulness. Trust in your resourcefulness. You're always able to find a way to make money. You're always going to be able to find a way to find clients. You're always going to be able to find a way to create new opportunities for your practice. Okay? It's an opportunity for expansion. The worst thing that's going to happen from your fear, though, is you will stay in your comfort zone and you will stay stunted. But all your colleagues and other businesses around you are going to move forward and you're going to stay behind. And that's not where you want to be. You want to be at the leading edge for your practice. And the way to do that is to start getting out of your own head, getting out of the fear, acknowledging the fear, but thinking, okay, how can I do what I want to do, but still kind of feel safe doing it? What can I anchor into that's going to allow me to feel safe doing that, taking that step? So that's what I want you to take away from this episode today. And you know what? If you're wanting support with this and you're wanting guidance, I have a coaching group and I would love to support you with this. The coaching group's only for private practice owners who are into this kind of approach. This group is different to the other groups for a reason. Those other groups are strategy heavy, and that's okay. But my belief is that strategy is only part of it. You need to feel supported by the universe. You need to have a spiritually informed framework that you operate from to interpret and understand the things that are happening in your business. You need to be able to understand that the things that you're seeing showing up in your practice are coming about as a direct result of your inner world. They're coming about as a direct result of your beliefs, of your thoughts, of your intuition, of your purpose. And until you do that inner work, all the strategies in the world aren't going to be enough. They'll work, but it's going to take you 10 times as long to get to the outcome that you're really wanting, compared to if you allow yourself the time now, while you're in a state of flux, to get grounded and to do this inner work. And it's through being coached that you're going to be able to have that transformation for yourself. And this is where the other groups fall short. They're not coaching you. They're saying, here's the strategy for more clients, go and use it. Here's the strategy to increase your income, go and use it. And guess what? A lot of you come to me and you say, I was given the strategy and it's not working. It's not working because you're not on board with it. It's contradictory to your beliefs. It's not aligning with your values. It's not aligning with your purpose. It doesn't align with your vision. We have to do that inner work. And that's only something that you can do. Nobody can do that inner work for you. It's a transformation that's personal. You have to experience it for yourself. It's your journey. It's your growth. It's your transformation. You need somebody to coach you through that, not give you the answers, because the answers ain't going to work. You know that. All right? Answers satisfy a need that you have to get into hustle mode. A false belief that you have around being busy is going to be the answer. Being busy means that you're going to get the clients. Being busy means that you're going to get the income. That's not true. It doesn't work like that. Guess what? I'm working less hours. My income's increasing. I'm doing less marketing. My income's increasing. I'm doing less marketing. My client numbers are increasing. You can do less. It is less about the strategy and it's about you understanding what feels good for you, what feels aligned for you, what feels aligned with your vision, your purpose, your values. And only you can do that work. And you need someone who's been through it themselves to guide you through that transformational process. And that's what this group is about. It's called the Private Practice Monthly Mentorship Group. If you want to find out more, go to the website, brooklynstorm.com. It's only $97 a month for the first 20 people that join. After that, person number 20 to 40 is going to come in at $197. 41 to 60 is going to come in at $297. 61 to 80 is going to come in at $397. It's only going to get more expensive. The reason that I want to start at this low entry point is so that you can have an experience of what coaching is without having that big financial commitment, so that you can have an experience of your own transformation. It comes down to, that whole idea of you can give the man the fish versus you can teach him how to fish for himself. We want you to have that experience so that you grow. Because guess what? When you have that experience the first time, you realize the value of that shift. You realize the value of that transformation. You don't forget what you went through. You don't forget that growth. It stays with you. Okay, you're going to forget strategies. How many of you have downloaded launch sequences and forgotten them and don't use them? How many of you have downloaded email sequences and don't use them or have forgotten them or find them confusing? How many of you have downloaded social media calendars and don't use them or find them confusing or gave up after a while because it was too much work? That's different. That's strategy. I'm talking about you being able to experience for yourself the power of an inner transformation, awakening something within you, opening your eyes to seeing things differently. Because guess what? When you do, you're going to see things differently in your practice. And when you do, you're going to have a different experience of your practice. And you absolutely can have the practice that you want. But yes, it's going to cost you. It's going to cost you $97 a month or $197 a month. It's going to cost you being brave enough to want the transformation. It's going to cost you the investment of your time in terms of sitting with me and us going back and forth together so that you get that experience. But what's it going to return to you? It's going to return to you more clients, more alignment, more visibility, more opportunities for your practice, more expansion for your practice, more growth for your practice, more expansion and growth for you as a woman, for you as an owner of a business in a global pandemic. This is your opportunity to step into the space you've been wanting to step into all this time. This is why you wanted to be a therapist. This is why you wanted to be a health practitioner. This is why you went to university for 4, 6, 8, 10, 14 years. This is why you did it. This is your time. It's not going to come again. This is your time now. Before you know it, this pandemic's going to be over. Whether that's September, October, November, December, whether that's next year, who knows? But when that time comes, you're going to look back and you're going to regret not have taken action now. This is a time for you to build that mindset that you need in order to have the growth, the development, the improvement, creating that practice that's going to serve your clients, that's going to serve you, that's going to serve your family, that's going to give you the financial stability that you want, the financial freedom that you want. Do you really, 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 really want to be solely and wholly responsible for sustaining your private practice financially? No. Who wants that responsibility? I don't. Don't you want to have the flexibility to be able to be sick and take a week off and know that you've still got money coming in to pay the bills? Don't you want that? Don't you want to know that you can take 2 weeks off every quarter and travel the world with your family and know that you can afford it and it's not going to hurt you financially? I do. Don't you want to be able to invest in professional development training with industry leaders that you can't afford right now? Wouldn't you like to be able to stay at the nice hotel when you do go to those conferences and workshops? Wouldn't you like to, go up to level 2, level 1, whatever level with your training? But you can't afford to right now because if you're not working the practice, you're not making any money. Who wants that? Now is the time for you to start creating foundations for your practice so that you can do those things that you really want to do, and you can do them easily like I do. It's possible, but it's going to require you to take a little bit of action and allow yourself the opportunity for you that you give to all of your clients for their growth. You give to all of your clients for their expansion, but you don't do it for yourself. Do something for you. If not now, when on earth are you going to do it? Because I'm telling you, the right time is never coming. There's no such thing as the right time. There's no such thing as all your ducks being in a row. If you don't take action now on creating the foundations for the type of practice that you really want to have next year or the year after, then you're probably never going to have it. Or if you do, it's going to take a lot of hustle. There's going to be a lot of resistance. There's going to be a lot of efforting. And it's going to take you 10 times as long as it's going to take the rest of us. Now is the time. Now is the time. Now is the time. Head over to brooklynstorm.com. Have a look at the monthly mentorship page. Join us inside and get started now on your own growth, your own transformations. Because guess what? It's going to feel really good to know that you're doing something for yourself. It's going to feel really good to have clarity. It's going to feel really good to be in control. It's going to feel really good to be on top of things and be proactive rather than reactive. And it's going to feel really, really good to know that you're ahead of the game in a way that feels aligned with your purpose again. It's going to feel really good to be around other health practitioners, women just like you, that get it, that support you, that are here to support you and help you achieve that growth and expansion that you want. Even if you come in and you just observe and you see what everybody else is doing until you feel comfortable enough to put your big toe in the water and say, hey guys, this is what I'm struggling with now. Okay? Now is the time. Now is the time. Now is the time, guys. All right. It's enough from me. We've got the 5-day manifesting challenge happening as well. So I need to go and do the training for that. I've got bonus training for that for everybody that's in the mentorship group as well. And thank you so much for listening today. I'm so appreciative of every review that's come up on the podcast as well. And I'm so appreciative of every Google review. Thank you so much to everybody who's been providing them. It means so much to me because when that happens, it tells me that I'm on the right track in supporting you guys. And it's safe for me to be open with you with my journey as well. Thank you so much for your support, for your love, and for your kindness. I'm here for you. Head over to the website to connect, and I'll talk with you soon. Have a beautiful Saturday, everybody. Bye-bye.